Welcome to La Vida Rosa. I'm your host Pinky, and today we're going to be talking about the finale of the weddings on Married at First Sight. So if you'd like to see more, then just stay tuned. But before we begin, I would like for everyone to check out my website, lavidarosastyle.com, where you can find cute accessories like the ones I'm wearing right now. The link is down below. Like, comment, and subscribe. But without further ado, let's get into this video. So we've seen all the weddings, y'all, and it's crazy to me because they clearly chose people who are not ready to be married for some of these couples. They clearly mismatched some of these people on purpose. And the weddings were boring. I'm shocked. I mean, I thought there would be some sort of like wow factor that happened. Like, I thought y'all were trying to create drama. And it's a flop. I'm not saying that that's what I want from this show. I would love for y'all to get back to the integrity of what the show started off being. But because y'all created this monster, at least let me be entertained. Instead of giving me 2 hours of dry boringness. I thought y'all were trying to amp up the drama. I thought that's what y'all were trying to do. Yeah, I'm sorry. I had to flame them real quick. Because y'all did all of this and we still ain't entertained, okay? You know, something that used to be fun for this show was to guess, you know, which couples do we think are going to say yes on decision day? Which couples do we think are going to make it in the long run? I'm still going to ask this question to you, and you can let me know down below, even though I know most of y'all are probably going to say 0 out of the 5 couples are going to make it. That's a little discussion y'all can have down in the comments. I want to see what y'all have to say about it. So let's go ahead and get started with the first couple, Lindsey and Mark. Let's get them out of the way. I'm so tired of seeing Lindsey and Mark. Okay, we done seen them for the past 3 episodes. Lindsey is a lot. She's teamed too much, like I said in the beginning. Oh my goodness, when she was talking to his friends and she was like, I've seen a lot of naked bodies in my life. It doesn't look the same at 90. Like, I feel like she says everything for shock value. I feel like she's saying all these things just to have like a soundbite or to get screen time. I just feel like Lindsey wants to be on TV. Even though I feel like a lot of this is Lindsey's real personality because her father and brother doesn't seem to be shocked by anything that she's doing. So I do believe it, you know, that's an element of her personality to just say whatever's on her mind. But I just feel like she's playing it up for TV. And I just feel like at the end of the day, this is not cute for you to say whatever comes to your mind. Mark doesn't seem to be thrown off by her whatsoever. Maybe he's looking at this as, well, I'm all in, so I'm going to give my all. Okay, I can respect it because you did sign up for the show. When he was talking to her brother and her father, mind you, he low-key looks like her dad. It's so weird. It looks like that could be his dad. They look so much alike to me. They had a very meaningful conversation. He said that family means a lot because he lost his father and he's the only child, so he's lonely. And I've been saying that from the beginning. I feel like he did this because he's lonely. He wants family. It's crazy because I feel like in that moment, they had a real moment. And I feel like the dad knows his daughter's a handful and wants her to, you know, have somebody in the long run. So he's literally embracing this man, and, you know, Mark is embracing him because he's looking for family. That was actually touching. If it wasn't Lindsey we were talking about, I could actually get into that moment. But I just don't see it working out between them because she's just does the most. She claimed that she was not going to consummate the marriage and then proceeded to only talk about that with his friends unprovoked. It was kind of like, girl, why did you even bring it up in the first place? When they made it to the hotel room, it was a typical, ooh, he unzipped her dress. Ooh, will they, won't they? And yeah, they ended up cuddling, but she had the covers in between them. So I don't know, y'all. Like, nothing about what they got going on is promising. So I can't sit up here and pretend like I'm just like, oh, I wonder will they make. No, I'm not concerned about it whatsoever. I do think it will be entertaining along the way, but no, don't care. Okay, Jasmina and Michael, they talk about his schedule and how hectic it is. He gets up at 4 o'clock in the morning and he makes it home by 7:30 Monday through Friday, right? And then he said he has clients on Saturday. Can y'all tell me what he does down below? Because I missed that along the way. I don't know what his profession is, but it clearly it's very strenuous. That did worry me, because I'm like, where are y'all gonna spend time with each other? Is he gonna be too tired to spend time when he gets home? But then I thought about it, you know, men make time for what they want to. So I'm thinking that, you know, because he said that this is the life he chose, this is what he chose when he said he had all these hours, possibly he could tailor that a little bit now that you're married. Like, I really feel like you should, if you can, because you don't know this woman. You know what I'm saying? Y'all have to have time to get to know each other. And if you're always at work, it's like, how are y'all gonna do that? Hopefully they can work through it, but that does throw a big wrench in things, in my opinion. So then she met up with his sisters, and when I tell you, his sisters are so sweet. Every time they come on screen, they always have so much love for their brother. You could tell that because they lost their parents, that they really have a strong bond and have come together and really shower each other with love. And it's just like, I don't want to like get the chills and cry, but when I did see that scene, it did make me shed a tear, because Jasmina is someone who is also big on family, and she doesn't really have the love of her biological parents. For them to embrace her and give her that pen as a symbol of like her being now a part of their family, it hit me again, y'all. They hit me again. Like, it just makes me really, y'all need to make this work, Jasmina and Michael. Y'all need to make this work, because I feel like just the sincerity on both sides is like, even when he sat down with her mother, like, I feel like she gave him genuine advice. She gave him good advice. She knows her daughter. When the dad gave him bad advice, that you just need to shut up whenever she talk, no, not for my daughter. My daughter needs for you to communicate. And I just really enjoyed that she gave him that. They're comfortable enough with each other to laugh and joke, like even when they got up to the hotel room. I don't know, I just feel like she's gonna bring him out of that shell, because she's very down to earth and goofy, and he seems to be like, you know, kind of withdrawn in his head type of person. I feel like she's kind of gonna bring that out of him, because she's kind of doing it already. So she jumped in the head, hair tied. I'm like, okay, come on, hair tied. I hate when they get into bed and they don't tie their hair up. Girl, that's what we do. Okay, that's what we do. So I love that she did that. And then she asked him, well, do you like to cuddle? He's like, what's the point of being married if I don't want to cuddle? I'm like, thank you. What's the point of being married? Okay, like, of course I want to cuddle. And I just thought that was so cute. Y'all, let me stop gushing, because I really can just sit here and do that the entire time if you let me. I'm gonna go ahead and move on. Okay, let's move on to Noi and Steve. First of all, let me say, Steve looked good to me. I don't know what it is, like, that's not even my type, but Steve is very handsome. And maybe it's the height, maybe it's the haircut, I don't know what. He seems like he has a very like fun personality as well. Like, he's really chill. Like, he has a, like, I like his personality. The only thing is, y'all know what it is. The unemployed part. You know what I'm saying? Noi was cheesing. Okay, when she saw him, she might as well drug her daddy down the house. She was happy. Okay, I don't care what nobody has to say. She was excited to see Steve. Steve was grinning too. He said he was attracted to her as well, but she might as well ran to the altar. I am so tired of everybody bringing up her alter ego. Okay, that is so 2008 Sasha Fierce, T.I. versus Tip. We're past that. Okay, I'm tired of it, girl, with the alter ego and that bad wig. Like, we don't ever need to hear about that again. Okay, that's you. That's just another side of you. That's not your alter ego. Can we be ourselves and accept ourselves and stop acting like we have multiple personalities? Anyway, during the ceremony, she was very emotional. So when he put her ring on or whatever, he was like, well, you know, I got a second ring just in case you didn't like the first one. I really thought this man was finna pull out another ring for her to choose from. It was a ring pop. Steve, don't do that. You did that to the right one. She thought that was cute. A girl like me would have been mad. You know, that's cute and funny or whatever, but don't play with me like that. Honestly, they have really great chemistry. Like, even though it's not like super passionate, like, oh, I just like him, I like her, it's like they're very comfortable with one another. I feel like they both are open to this experiment. Both of them are like hopeless romantics. So this could possibly work. I love her outfit change and bringing out, you know, her cultural traditions for the wedding. I thought that was really nice. So I recorded this on my DVR and we had some storming that night. And so I missed the part where they discussed him not having a job, but I did see that clip on the after party. So y'all let me know if I left something out. But when he brought up the fact that, you know, he was laid off due to C-19 and, you know, he's been traveling the country in his car for the past 4 months, she was not concerned whatsoever about him being unemployed. And she was like, I don't know, he just seems like he'll figure it out. And but the thing that bothered me is that on Unfiltered, she asked for someone who was stable, and that's kind of like exactly the opposite of what she got. Now, mind you, Steve, like a lot of you mentioned, Steve might have money saved up. Steve might make plenty of money doing freelance work. Steve might have been saving up money. Instead of like paying for a place to live, he was living in his car for the past 4 months. So a part of me can understand that, y'all. I'm not completely unreasonable. I just feel like if you're going to sign up for a show like this and you want to have a wife, you want to start a family, I feel like you should have a job by the time you walk down the aisle. You should have traveled the country before this. Like, if you were single doing this, more power to you. I don't care, brother. Do you? Okay? I don't know. It just comes off as a little bit irresponsible to me. I could be completely wrong. I would love to be proven wrong. I would love for Steve to prove me wrong. Please do. Because y'all seem like y'all would make a cute couple. Y'all seem like y'all want the same things. So, hopefully I'm wrong. It's funny to me that both of them have brothers that have like these larger than life personalities, like, and you can even see it in their hair. They have the same hair color, like orange. It's hilarious to me. But her brother was doing team too much for me. Like, you know, it's okay to, you know, ask your questions or whatever, but he was getting all into, well, you know, are y'all gonna consummate? Well, you know, you need to go for it. Like, okay, that's your brother-in-law. Okay, I get it, but no, we're not having this conversation. I didn't understand why they were having that uncomfortably long conversation about whether or not they were gonna do it on their wedding night. What? And then he was like, well, if you don't, someone else will. Bye. Like, that conversation would have been over, y'all. I'm sorry. Don't come over here and tell me what I need to do on my wedding night. I am a grown man. I have to reiterate how good Steve looked, because when they went to the hotel that night, he was looking good. I mean, I thought it was the suit. Steve was looking good in a wife beater. Like, I was like, shoot, I almost made me forget he didn't have no job. Let me get out of here. So let's move on to Katina and Olajuwon. Olajuwon is so full of it. He's so full of it. Like, they're taking pictures and stuff, and he's steady kissing her. Honestly, they kissed like pretty much anytime they got near one another, they were kissing each other. And he was like, and he said, I asked her, are we kissing too much? She was like, nah, your lips are soft and juicy. Bye. He is so full of himself. At one point, he was talking about how happy he was that he went through with this. And he was like, yes, I feel like all my sins have been forgiven. I'm sorry, that's a red flag, Olajuwon. What have you done to feel like you need redemption? Like, who says that on their wedding day? Oh, I feel like all of my sins have been forgiven. This is not an altar call. What are you talking about? That's so weird to me. What have you done? It's something you ain't telling us, honey. Cause you all your sins have been forgiven. Like, I don't know. So then she sat down with his brothers and friends, and she asked about like his bad habits. And his friends said you have to explain things to him more than once, and he needs patience. And that would get on my nerves, because I'm not nobody's mama to constantly explain things to you over and over and over. Like, but girl, if you have the patience for it, I guess. But then his brother said he's always going to challenge and push limits and try to mold you, basically like mold you into the wife that he wants. And I'm just like, do you hear what you're saying out of your mouth? I don't know. The brother give hater tea. Like, I'm sorry, the brother kind of gives a little hater tease a little bit. I ain't gonna lie. Every episode I've seen the brother on, he's always like put his tea out there, like the negative stuff. And like, I get it, you're being honest, but that's your brother. For you to be telling all that on him, like, that's crazy. But at least he's giving her a real heads up. He's being honest. I'll give him that. But it just seemed a little haterish. Then he sat down with her mother and he said he had ADHD. And you know what? That made plenty of sense, because that man cannot be still. He's constantly moving. He just jittery. Like, he makes me nervous as someone with anxiety. I can never be with someone like Olajuwon, because he's constantly moving, constantly fidgeting, can't be still. That would make me so nervous. That would make me on edge. Olajuwon basically is doing what he does best with her mom, talking her head off. Boy, we don't need a full-on TED Talk every time you speak, okay? And was her mom trying to distract him? Like, ooh, look, a rabbit. And then she got up and ran away. Like, what happened with that? What was that about? That was so funny. Like, he literally turned around and she got up and left. What was that? I don't think the mama is featuring him, because, like, even, you know, they had a moment where he danced for her and he went full on Magic Mike, like lifting up his shirt, grinding on her, touching all on his body. The mama was not pleased in that moment either, and I probably would have been a little embarrassed. Like, I don't want behind closed doors, but not while my mama watching. That was like, oh my goodness. Like, he was doing the absolute most. Like, he was working for them tips. So she told her friends that she wants to wait to consummate the marriage at least a month in. And you know, obviously when he's talking to his friend, I'm ready to go. Whenever she ride, I'm ready. I want to do everything she wants. I mean, clearly by this point he was drunk, because he was talking to his friends about her shape. Yeah, she got a small waist and everything. I'm like, oh my god. Like, it was giving me Chris flashbacks. Remember when Chris was talking about how big Paige's butt was, and like, just, I don't know, it's just, it was weird to see him objectify his brand new wife to his friends. One thing I will say is they do seem like they're very comfortable with each other. By the time they got to the hotel, you know, they were like cuddly, kissy. You know, they seem to have chemistry so far. But we just gonna see. We gonna see where this ends up. It's crazy to me because on the preview, they allude to her being the one that she's maybe talking to another man or cheating or something like that. And wouldn't that be ironic? That would literally snatch my wig if she ends up being the one that's a player. But we'll see. Let's move on to the last couple, Chris and Alyssa. First of all, let me just say that Chris really seems like a very sweet, genuine man with a very, you know, good attitude, because they really played him with this match, because they know she's wildly picky and they know she just wants to be seen on TV. But he handled this with so much grace. If they were being serious about picking these people, shallow people should be eliminated immediately, first round. Being focused on looks, being focused on your type, and that being in the forefront. You're not worried about his character, you're not worried about your personalities meshing, you're worried about 10 wedding dresses, you're worried about, is he gonna be hot, you're worried about, if I turn the corner and he has snaggle teeth, I'm turning around. By the way, the fact that they actually closed up on his teeth, that was trash. Like, y'all do some trash stuff on this show, but that was really trash. Like, anytime they would refer to him in an unattractive way, they would get the worst angle of him possible and play it right then and there, and the editors are dead wrong for that. Y'all really set this man up to humiliate him. And the craziest part is, none of it was entertaining. I did not laugh one time at that. That was not funny to me. I'm looking at the show like, how dare y'all treat this man like this, and he signed up for your show. Even though the contestants should have an inkling of what they're signing up for, I mean, they have it right there in the contract that they can portray you any way that they want to. I just think it's trash that y'all actually do things like that to people that keep y'all show going. So when she walked down the aisle, she really did not look pleased whatsoever. And, you know, he's just grinning. He's trying to put his best face forward, but she's not into it at all. But she acted way better than I thought she would during the ceremony. Like, she put on a good front this entire day. I mean, she actually let him kiss her, and when they had a conversation, it was going pretty well. You know what I'm saying? And I thought that maybe they edited the previews to make her look worse than what she was, but was I wrong? Okay, we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. She said that he looks like a real estate agent, and I'm just like, well, what does that mean? What does that mean? Because he is a real estate agent. So you were correct. You are correct. He's a real estate agent. Meanwhile, he's enamored with her and he sees no red flags. He's just none the wiser. Poor thing. Her mom told him that she told Alyssa that she really likes Chris, and she was like, me too. Lying. I don't know if mom was lying. I don't know if Alyssa was lying. He said on the after party that he asked her friends, he asked her mom and dad all individually, they were not next to each other, what he should do if she's having a bad day, and they said just stay away from her and let her go off. And I'm just like, it sounds like she blows up at the drop of a hat, which is a red flag. She talks with his groomsmen, and they really talked about him in a negative light. I don't know if they meant to do this. I don't know if they were throwing shade. I don't know what they was trying to say here, but they were saying, well, he can come off condescending because he's trying to teach. He's a teacher. He just likes to teach. And he likes to drill things in, and you might need to change the subject. And I don't know, that just really made him sound unbearable. I understand telling the truth, but to paint your friend in a negative light to his brand new wife who doesn't know him at all, I don't know, like, y'all, don't do that. Just say something like, oh, he's extra cheerful in the morning. He's a morning person and it gets on everybody's nerves. You know, something light, not something like, oh, he's condescending and you might need to change the subject because he talked too much. It's like, dude, whose side are you on? So then they have their exit or whatever. Everything's going well. I guess once they got to the hotel, before they could even get up to the room, she breaks away from him. So I'm so confused as to what happened. Maybe some of y'all can explain it to me down below. She said that while they were in the elevator, he said, I'm just Alyssa's side piece. I'm assuming he said that in a joking way, like, oh, I'm Alyssa's side piece. But she said that he's immature, he's not her type. She told the producer that she didn't see one characteristic that she asked for. I'm assuming physical. Because you haven't even got to know this man and his personality. You haven't asked him any questions really regarding who he is as a person. You know what I'm saying? So how would you know he doesn't have one thing that you've asked for unless you were only concerned about superficial things? She said she didn't feel comfortable sleeping in the same room with him, and I feel like she was just looking for a reason not to sleep in the same room with him because she wasn't attracted to him from the moment she saw him. But she's been putting on a front this entire day, and she was looking for that one thing. She's like, see, that's why I don't like him. Pretty much. So the producers was like, well, you're going to have to at least tell him that you're not going to be standing in a room with him, because this is not normal. For on Married at First Sight, I can't remember, y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but I can't remember one time where a couple got married and they didn't stay in the same hotel room. That is not normal at all for this show. Like, even Henry, y'all remember awkward Henry and Christina? As awkward as they were, they barely could have a conversation. They at least stayed in the same room. So you owe this man an explanation, because this is not something that is normal. She sat down with him and told him that he said some things that didn't sit right with her, but she didn't really give him a real explanation as to what that was. He apologized even though he had no clue what was going on. Like, he was trying to still be accommodating to her, and she let him know that she wants to sleep separately. And I just felt so bad for him, because this is like another level of rejection. Like, you get married to someone, I know it's a stranger, but both of y'all get married, You claim that you like him, you told your family members this, or they lied and said this to him as far as he knows. And then at the end of the night, you don't even want to stay in the same hotel room as him. You put on a front the entire day. You acted cool the entire day. And then you kind of pull the rug out from under him at the last minute. And I want to read this post that I saw on Facebook. It says, this is Alyssa. Alyssa is what's wrong with Married at First Sight. People like her apply for the show but aren't really ready nor respect the process. They have superficial criteria for a spouse, which is probably the reason why they're still single in the first place. Don't be like Alyssa. Be open to dating people who are totally different from who you've dated in the past. It might just work. I'm so disappointed in her behavior. I understand being shallow. I understand being superficial. If you have a certain look that you want for your husband, why would you put that in somebody else's hands? As picky as you are with your 10 wedding dresses and all, why would you put that in somebody else's hands? It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. If you're not willing to get to know who someone is, regardless of how they look on the outside, you shouldn't sign up for something like this. This is not Love Island. This is not The Bachelor. This is not one of those superficial shows where everybody's going to be fine. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are real people. And regardless of how we feel about the show, the premise is they're matching you based off of your personality, not based off of looks. And so if you're going to get hung up on looks, there was no point in you even showing up. You might as well, when you saw him at the altar, you might as well turn back around like you said you would have did. And it looks like next week they're not going to make it much farther than the honeymoon. I hope not. I don't know. It's giving Jacob and Haley. I don't know what else to say. Y'all let me know how y'all feel down below. Do you agree with me? Do you not agree with me? I would love to hear your opinion. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Peace.